Hi, I'm Jonni from UltimatePaperMache.com, and I put up a video a few days ago about a new air-dried clay recipe that is a variation of the original paper mache clay recipe that I have up on my blog. I really like it, and I wanted to play around a little bit with it just to see what it would do. So I put together this raven. He's not painted yet, and he's about half size. Should be about yay. Would have been fun to make a bigger one, but I didn't. I want to show you a few things about this. If you want to make your own raven, I just scribbled out the shapes on a piece of cardboard for the pattern. If you're familiar with how I make my sculptures, you know that there's a cardboard pattern on the inside, one for the body and one for the tail. And I will print those out on my my blog. Just go to ultimatepapermache.com and do a search for Raven. But I was really doing it fast, so you could probably do a better job than I did. I would just wanted to use this material. Now I'm going to do some close-ups. I might have to put the cat to bed first. I want to do some close-ups and show you how this came out. The first thing you're going to notice, I suspect, is that it is darkened. The reason for that is that I put it in the oven about 325 degrees just to dry it out. I wanted to put this last little piece on here, and I wanted the rest of it to be dry so I didn't mess it up. Put it in the oven, then went and took a nap, and it darkened. But so I would suggest that you don't do that. The 325 seemed to be okay, but if you do leave it too long, it gets a bit smelly in the kitchen. But it did make it easier, I think, to see some of these details. You can see, I think, that we got some really nice feathers here. The eyeball was just I just rolled up a piece of the air-dried clay and brushed on some of the water and Elmer's glue solution onto the dried head, and then just put that little ball on there. You can sand it. I've been using a 100 grit sandpaper to sand it. You can also use an X-Acto knife and carve it, which is rather nice. Maybe if I hold on to this cat for a little while, she'll shut up so I can explain how this was done. Like I said, the inside was made the way I normally do with the pattern, the cardboard pattern, the crumpled paper. But then because I was in a hurry, I wanted to get to the detail part faster. This was really just an experiment, and I have another project that I'm working on that I really thought I should be doing instead. This is playing around. So instead of covering the crumpled paper and masking tape with paper mache or with the clay, which you could do, I covered it first with 2 layers of plaster cloth. And since I used a medical grade plaster cloth that dries within maybe 3 or 4 minutes, within 10 minutes you can go ahead and cover this with a very thin, almost paper thin layer of the new air dried clay. And when that dries, which goes really fast obviously, just stick it over a furnace vent or put a fan in front of it, or even just air dry it normally, and it dries really quickly. And it dries really hard. And then you have within, from beginning to that point, you really only have a couple of hours of work into it. And then you can start working on the details. I do dry it often because the new air-dried clay is fairly soft. If you're working on the feathers on one side, then you turn around and start working on them somewhere else, you're quite likely to mess up your original work. So I've been drying it a lot. So this project, in total, probably I've been working on it off and on for a couple of days. There's approximately 1/2 of that recipe for the air-dried clay on this bird, so obviously not very much, and it's solid, really solid. If I've noticed that if you get a little bit carried away on, especially like here on the legs, and there's too much, just too much going on, you can soften it up by using a brush dipped in the water and glue solution, which I think has turned out really nice. I had not originally intended to put so much detail on this bird, but it was so much fun to do, and you know, if you can, somehow or another the clay took over and kind of did what it wanted to do, and I ended up with a lot more detailing than I really intended to. It's very hard, sandable. I'm going to be, rather than just paint this, I could just paint it a blue-black and be done with it, but I think instead what I'm going to do is use the Sculpt Nouveau iron coating and make it look like cast iron, which I think would be kind of cool. It won't be as dark as a real raven, but I think it would be kind of fun, and it will go kind of fast. So if you'd like to see how that's done, just let me know, and I'll turn the camera on when I'm doing it. I also wanted to let you know before I leave that thank you very much for all the suggestions. So many people wrote in ideas of what to call the new air dry clay recipe, and they were just fantastic ideas. I really appreciated it. I think what I'm going to go with, just because it's really fun to say, is John Taylor's idea. Call it Silky-Smooth air dry clay recipe. Jonni's Silky-Smooth air dry clay recipe, which is another thing that everybody insisted that I put my name on there. So if you do put any of these videos or the recipe out on your own blog, I hope you'll call it that and give me a link back. That would be really cool. And do use it. Do try it. This is this looks to me, even though it's not painted, it's not finished, and it's all different sorts of colors because you know, baked it too long, but this looks like something that was made out of clay. Definitely, it's more like air dry clay than paper mache, and it was really easy, fun to work with. So do try it, and come over and visit us. I'm going to get back to my book. I'm kind of just wanted to put this together really quickly, and now I have to actually get back to work. So come visit us, ultimatepapermache.com. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.